Now, to honor America and those who protect and defend it, with the accompaniment of the Winton Woods Warriors Marching Band under the direction of Ms. Danny Ashbrook, you are invited to join in singing our national anthem.
Good evening and welcome to Mancuso Field at Viking Stadium for the Division II Regional Final between the defending state champions in the Anderson Redskins and the Winton Woods Warriors. Hi again, everybody. Andy Sanzada, joined as always by my partner Jacob Williams and our entire hard-working crew. And Jacob, this is the matchup that everybody was waiting to see when the brackets came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's been a little bit of a harder road to get to this point for the defending state champion Anderson Redskins. Winton Woods has had a real easy road up to this point, taking care of business as expected. 58-12 over Dayton Dunbar, 44-9 over Kings, who upset Turpin to play Winton Woods last week. But I don't think we're going to see any scores along those lines here tonight. Both these teams going to be ready to go at it, and this is going to be a really physical and demanding football game tonight.
Absolutely, Andy. Here we are in mid-November, and another rematch for the Warriors. In late September, they opened up a can on the Redskins. The Redskins, however, have found a way to put that game in their rearview mirror, and now find themselves in position to defend their 07 state title. Now, Andy, it's apparent there isn't enough room in these playoffs for two Indian nations, and no matter what happens tonight, the rivalry between these schools will continue sometime into the 09 season.
Well, both of these teams have a lot on the line, obviously, their season, but I think more is at stake here for Winton Woods. And the reason I say that, Jacob, is because even though the Anderson Redskins are the defending state champions, everybody in the local media has Winton Woods winning this ball game here tonight. And if you're Anderson, that's got to be a little bit frustrating, but there's been a lot of that going on between these two teams since Winton Woods beat them in week 6, 23-13. A lot of people wondered, how did Anderson finish ahead of them in the polls locally? But that's to be decided here tonight to see whether or not that was the right decision. So I think Winton Woods playing with a little bit more motivation, not just because their season is on the line, but I think they were really bothered by the fact that even though they beat Anderson and beat them handedly on their own field, they finished behind them in the polls, and that was all over the papers this week in the local media.
Well, the polls right now, Andy, don't mean really much at all. I mean, it would be nice if the Warriors would have got the respect that they felt they deserved. But it's up to them to go out here at Mancuso Field tonight and earn that respect. And I was at their practice the other day, and the guys are well rested, they're relaxed, they're going through everything the coach and soul, they're all brought into this, and they have no problems proving this on the field, and they will.
Well, the one thing to keep in mind tonight, before this game even gets started, Anderson is healthy, and Winton Woods is healthy, with the exception of the injury to Avery Cunningham, which has him out for the season. But there are 4 very key players on the Anderson Redskins team that were not dressed and not able to play during the regular season matchup. So that's something to keep an eye on. We'll tell you who those players were when we get to the lineups. Winton Woods has won the toss, and they have chosen to defer to the second half. So the defending State 2 champion, the Anderson Redskins, will get the football to start this regional final. Winton Woods in their home blue sweater jersey, excuse me, that's a hockey term, my bad, and white pants with the blue helmets. Anderson and the road white uniforms with the orange helmets. And like you said, it's the battle of the tribal nations, the Redskins and the Warriors here tonight. And one of those nations will go home, and another one will have a chance to move on and get one step closer to a potential state championship matchup. A lot at store in terms of what those matchups can be. We'll get into that as the broadcast moves along, but it'll be Luke Spencer to tee it up from his own 40-yard line for the Winton Woods Warriors, and back to return for Anderson will be number 12, Jason Bruner. Now, he was one of those players that we spoke about that was not in the first game in the regular season and perfectly healthy here tonight. So here we go, a packed house, and they continue to file in as they line up outside of the gates. And it's Bruner bringing it up to about the 22-yard line, and he's tripped up on the play. Nice tackle by the backup quarterback, number 16, Chris White. Let's set the Anderson offense for you as they come onto the football field. The left tackle is Andrew Norwell. The left guard, Oliver Phillips. The center is Nick Sherman. The right tackle is Greg Mance, and the right guard is Max Elliott. At quarterback, Daniel Rod. The tight end is Kevin Becker. The wide receivers are Jason Bruner and John Runk. In the backfield, Kyle Slater and Luis Perez. 1st and 10 from the 21, they officially mark it. In the pistol are the Redskins that give us to Slater, and he'll take it up the middle to about the 24. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8. Here's the defense for the Winton Woods Warriors. Defensive ends are Anthony Brown and Byron McCorkle. The nose tackle is number 56, Cameron Brown. The linebackers, number 4, Malik Bomar, number 38, Tristan Marvin, number 29, Chris Stallworth, and number 32, David Hampton. In the secondary, Corey Weber, Kalen Sofer, Chuck Wynn, and Chris Williams. The give to Slater, and he will go absolutely nowhere. That interior front stops him again. In on the stop was Cameron Brown and Chris Stallworth.
Well, you know, Andy, in the last contest, Anderson kind of seemed to step out of their identity on offense. They only had 15 rushing attempts in that game, whereas Winton Woods had 57 rushing attempts, which allowed them to control the clock 32 minutes and 39 seconds against 15 minutes and 21 seconds.
Well, Slater was one of probably the biggest player that was hurt in that regular season matchup. Tonight he's back in there. Rod will pitch it to Slater. He gets to the outside, turns the corner, and he's close to a first down. It's whether or not he kept his feet in bounds and stretched it first, or if they're going to mark him out of bounds short of the yard marker. Let's take a look on the replay.
Looks like Corey Weber, number 88 for the Warriors, comes in there and sticks a hat on him there. And he had a hell of a game, last time. And he actually saved that game last time against Mr. Runk. And he's going to have his work cut out against Mr. Runk again this evening.
Well, this is a very close measurement, but I believe they are short. So on comes the punter, John Howard, on 4th down. Or what do we have, a timeout? Officials timeout. Yes, there's appears to be a problem with the chains on the far sideline. I think it is still going to be 4th down. They just have an equipment malfunction over on that far sideline. Well, we know how big momentum plays throughout the game in general, Jacob, but especially in a game like this, you know, it could be a couple chain links that makes the difference. And that was a really big stop, I think, for the Warriors defense early on in this football game.
Well, whatever this, equipment malfunction you're saying, this is either way, the chain gang is going to be going up and down the field tonight. From what I understand, they're going to recruit this chain gang to be a bunch of former National Basketball Association guards, people who are used to traveling calls.
Well, they've got a problem with the links, it looks like. They've dropped the actual chains. And now one of the side judges is talking to one of the chain link holders there on the far sideline as you get a look at the Winton Woods band. You know, we talked about these two teams, Jacob, and coming into tonight, a different road. And for those people that may be joining us for the first time this season, it was not that easy for Anderson. They had a little bit of a scare in the first round, got by their opponent easily in that one. Then they really turned it on last week and took care of Tecumseh. That's a little bit of a tongue twister if you don't slow that one down. But I actually think Anderson has just a little bit of an advantage because they've had to play some closer games. In the playoffs, it's great on the scoreboard and it's great to run up your stats, and coaches love to see a team put their whole roster in by the fourth quarter. But I think in the back of their mind, they have to wonder if things are a little bit too easy and if maybe they weren't tested enough coming into tonight's game. Well, we know this is going to be a test, obviously, but I think in that situation, you have to give a slight edge to Anderson there.
Well, I think on the other hand, if you're Winton Woods, you've been opening up cans left and right. You've been able to give your complete roster playing time, valuable experience, so now they have depth at this stage of the season.
John Howard into punt. He has 2 attempts in the playoffs and averaging 38 yards a kick, as long as a 40-yarder so far. Good snap, and Howard gets off a booming, high, spiraling kick that Juan Glover touches out of bounds. What a punt by John Howard. Unofficially, that's going to go for about a 52-yarder as they'll mark it 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. As the Warrior offense gets set to take the field, let's set the lineup for you. Up front at left tackle, Kevin Thomas. At left guard, it's Brian Davis. The center is Brandon Smith. The right guard is James Richardson. And the right tackle is big number 78, Alvin Waller. The quarterback, Dominique Brown. The wide receivers, Juan Glover and Kendrick Jordan. The tight end, Anthony Talbert. The running backs are Marco Norman and Jeremiah Goings. Will set the Anderson defense after this first down play, 1st and 10 from their own 19. Talbert will move into motion over to his right side. They stack that 3-3-5. Norman in motion. They fake the pitch, rolling out on the run. The pass complete to Goings, and he's got a first down as he drops the shoulder and gets 16 on the play. A nice play call there to come out with play action on 1st and 10.
Well, Marco Goins is all about putting 2 and 2 together here tonight for the Warriors. And he gets this pass, make sure he gathers it in, turns, he doesn't look upfield first, and now that he's got control, lowers the shoulder, picks up a first down for the Warriors.
That's the first reception for Goins in the playoffs. That's only the 9th pass attempt for Dominique Brown so far in the playoffs as well. See if they go back to the ground. They do. Brown on the outside.
It's like Norman gets the pitch and breaks the tackle.
And he's brought down by the linebacker, or the strong safety, number 5, Brian Schlosser, but not before. Marco Norman gets another first down. I think they're going to look at maybe measuring this, but clearly we can see from our vantage point, and yes, they agree with us. It is indeed a automatic first down after that 10-yard pickup. Here's the defense for the Redskins. Up front, Joe Walla and Nick Buchanan are the defensive ends. The nose tacklers, Tyler Knabb. The linebackers are Eli Anglem, Jake Lackner, and Adam Bigelow, another player that was injured in that first regular season matchup. Kevin Kripe, Michael Tincher, Schlosser, you just saw make that last tackle, and Pusillo in the secondary. Brown trying to keep it himself, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage by Eli Anglem.
Brown stopped for no gain there. Previous play, he makes that pitch to Marco Norman. The Warriors and he have a great change of pace backfield with Jeremiah Goins and then the speed back Norman.
And there's only one thing that Coach Giesting told us during the week that he had to do on defense, and that was limit the big plays. We've seen Winton Woods have 4 scores of a 40-yard run or more so far in these playoffs, and he's fully aware that they can bust a big one quickly. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. The give. No, they fake it, and Brown trying to get to the outside. He's tripped up by Lackner.
Well, it looks like Brown has got some ideas of getting that big play started early, but he's going to have to sit back here, establish the offense, give Goins a chance to batter these guys down some.
That was a big tackle by Lackner because Dominique Brown only needs about a yard or 2 before those Jets can get turned on, and he's gone into the end zone. So this is a big 3rd down for both teams. Here in the first quarter, a 3-and-out to start the game for Anderson. Winton Woods has picked up a couple first downs, but this will be a big stop for the Redskin defense. 3rd and 9 from the 46, rolling out, dropping back. Brown fires over the middle. It's deflected and almost intercepted. Kendrick Jordan had a beat on it, but just didn't have the height to pull that one in.
Well, here we have the Winton Woods Warriors back to punt for the first time in today's game. They've driven the ball upfield, but the drive stalls out here, and they'll be turning it over.
So, usually by this time, Winton Woods has a couple on the board, but right now, this is pretty much what we expected all night, Jacob. A dogfight. No score, 8:21 to go here in the opening quarter. And back to return the kick is number 25, Luis Perez.
Luke Spencer will be punting this for the Warriors, number 84.
Oh, and Anglem almost blocked that one. Perez is going to let this one bounce, and it takes an Anderson bounce. Up to about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. That's where they'll take over for their second offensive series. That's only Spencer's second punt in 3 games here in the playoffs. He hasn't had to do that much because they have had those big leads. So special teams in a game like this, Jacob, really could come into play here tonight.
Well, certainly Luke Spencer made a big play on special teams for the Warriors last week, saving that touchdown on that double reverse on the kickoff. And from what I understand, Luke Spencer is signed to play soccer at Xavier this year.
Perez in motion. Rod pitches it out to Perez, but he's in trouble trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and I think he did. They didn't lose any on the play, and it looks like they're going to maybe give him a yard on the mark here, Jacob.
He took a hard shot there at the end. It's a tougher in yard. I guess we don't have a replay on it. Yeah, but Andy, Luke Spencer, he's going to be playing soccer for Xavier University next year, and the only thing I could tell you is some major college is losing out on a good linebacker prospect.
Yeah, after that hit, he sure looked like he could have been one last week. 2nd and 9, they do give Perez 1 on the gain. Play action, Rod rolling on the run, and a big hit by Chris Williams, but not before Kevin Becker, the tight end, catches the pass from Daniel Rod, and that'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Okay, so here we are. Rod rolls out to his right and gets that pass completed. There's a way Williams.
And that's the type of play that has him verbally committed to Cincinnati next year to play at the next level. Rod coming into tonight, 16 of 22, 274 yards, a 73% completion percentage. Direct snap to Kyle Slater, and he turns the corner and gets it up for the first down, the first of the ball game for the Redskins. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, getting back to the stats for Daniel Rod. But here's a back in Slater, and this is what they didn't have in the matchup. And trust me, Coach Everhart is fully aware of Kyle Slater bringing another element to this offense. This guy rushed for 1,500 yards in the regular season, Jacob, and he missed 4 ball games. That's the kind of numbers he was putting up this year.
Well, certainly that would have been very helpful in the last contest, but he's going to have to prove it tonight. Looks like that ball's on the ground.
And Winton Woods recovers the fumble. It's recovered by, I believe, one of the linebackers. Was that Bomar? No, it was number 46, Anthony Dawson. So a big turnover early on here. It's a nice strip on the play. They read that one beautifully.
Well, looks like the Warriors have gotten the first break in the game here tonight. Looks like they're going to take over possession down here on the Redskin. What is that, 38-yard line, 37 in there?
Yep, they're going to mark him at the Anderson 37. So a huge turnover there by the quarterback, Daniel Rod. That's the 3rd forced fumble that the defense has had in the playoffs for the Warriors.
Brown under center.
In motion, Brown pitches it to Norman, trying to turn the corner.
Turn.
And he gets out of bounds. They'll mark him out short of the first down at about the 28-yard line. They'll pick up 9 on the play.
That's a well-performing Marco Norman. A change of pace for the Warriors. Sure-handed, takes that pitch, makes sure he gets it in control. It's going to be a long night if the Skins can't keep track of this guy, because you got to make sure Jeremiah Goins is going to get his.
2nd and 2 from the Anderson 29, following the fumble by Daniel Rod. Norman in motion, inside give, Goings, he'll muscle his way forward and pick up a big first down. Stopped on the play by number 30, Jake Lackner. And 93, Joe Walla in there as well, the defensive end. So 1st and 10 from the 26. 6 minutes left in the opening quarter. Still no score in this regional final. And I don't think there is an empty seat out there. Fans are filed in and they're standing at the gates. It's a sellout here tonight for sure.
Well, both teams certainly worthy of the support from their fans.
Goins will run it through the middle again. He's strong, very strong. But one of the reasons he's able to do that is because of the blocking abilities of the linemen in front of him. And guys like the center, Brandon Smith, captain, by the way, Richardson and Davis in that interior front, allowing Goins to just push forward and pick up a good 4 yards on that first down.
And, in talking with Coach E with the scheme that they employ, if you on defense try to play read and react, they tell them, hey, if they're sitting, we're getting. And if you come in at us, you can send 9 guys and we can still block 7 and get you.
They shift on the front. Look out. Dominic Brown finds a seam to the right side, and he is out of bounds inside the 5, down at the 4. He'll get 18 on the play, and he almost broke it to the house.
Dominic Brown slashing and dashing with them blue suede shoes all over this Mancuso Field turf tonight.
That's the gap that has hurt every opponent that the Warriors have played so far in these playoffs. As Dominic Brown finds that, and there's not very many people that can stop him. Just the out-of-bounds line did that time. 1st and goal, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter from the 4.
Jeremiah Goins behind Brown under center. Looks like
I think we had a lineman move up front as Thomas Owens was moving in motion. See what the call is on the field. No, it's on the defense. So they'll move it half the distance and bring up 1st and goal again. And there you see right there, good call by the officials. Looked like Walla, the defensive end.
5 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the first period here. Dominic Brown under center again. Marco Norman in motion.
Goins will fight his way through on the right side, and I don't think he got in just yet.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to give it to him.
Stopped on the play by Adam Bigelow, the senior linebacker.
Well, the Winton Woods Warriors, Andy, they're doing what they've been doing so far. They're moving that ball. Even when they had a punt, they still got a couple first downs, and here they are. If you give them a gift, they will cash it in.
Brown will take it himself. He cuts across the goal line. Touchdown, Warriors. Dominic Brown with his 5th rushing touchdown in the playoffs.
And Chief Winton over there on the far sideline, urging his Warrior faithful to support this team. Looks like he's going to wear out another pair of moccasins tonight.
Oliver Velez in to attempt the extra point. He's 14 for 14 so far in these playoffs. And in a game like this, these may seem simple, but they are still very, very big.
Oh, yeah. You need all of the extra points.
The hold is down, the kick is up, and it's right down the chute. So 15 out of 15 in the postseason for Velez, and the Warriors have taken an early 7-0 lead, and that was a big score, not only because it gives them the lead, but Jacob, they were able to convert a turnover into a touchdown, and that's what you have to do at this point in the season.
You would think so. I mean, both teams want the other team to have to drive the whole length of the field. You don't want to give them the short field like, unfortunately, the Redskins did there. But it's up to the Redskins to show their mettle and come back and drive the field now and possess the ball themselves.
Ken Nakakura and Bruner back to receive the kick for the Anderson Redskins, and Spencer will once again tee it up from his 40-yard line. Well, so far, Jacob, a nice repetitive sign for the Warriors in that they're winning the time of possession in this first quarter.
All the signs indicate the Warriors are on their game tonight. They just have to remember and play all 4 quarters. Looks like Luke Spencer is ready to stick a foot into this ball, get this one going.
And the wind is not blowing that high tonight, maybe about 10 miles an hour at the most. It's a short kick. Bruner will wait for the wedge, and he's got some good blocking up front, but doesn't have the speed to get by the special teams. And Levante Darby along with Tristan Marvin in on the stop for the Warriors.
Okay, so Tristan Marvin, Levante Darby combined to make that stop. Here the Warriors are. They got this Redskin team pinned back on the 22-yard line. So what do you do in your playbook if you're Anderson here, Andy?
Well, I think it's about time we see a little down the field action here. Maybe play action, roll out to the right. That's Rod's favorite pass play. Well, let's see what they go with here. 1st and 10 from their own 22. Perez in motion. They'll stick to the ground, and Slater breaks some tackles and moves it all the way up to the 30-yard line. I'm telling you, this is a different offense with him in that backfield, and we're seeing it already here tonight.
Well, that's what they need to do, is just stick with their identity. That's what got them here.
2nd and 2 from the 30. He picks up 8 on that first down run, and that's something that the Warriors have not seen too much of early in these playoffs. Bruner this time in motion. They'll keep it on the ground. Slater finds a seam right through the middle of the defense, and another first down.
Slater protecting that ball well, going through the middle, both hands covering that ball.
Yeah, great block by the center. Nick Sherman and Andrew Norwell. You'll hear that name a lot tonight, and you probably have seen that name a lot in the papers. The lineman, left tackle, receiving offers from schools like the University of Cincinnati, but also from Ohio State, and actually got a personal phone call from the head coach of the Buckeyes, Jim Tressel, earlier this week. So if Jim Tressel can't motivate you, I don't know if anybody can. 3.5 remaining in the first. 1st and 10 from the 38. They'll keep it on the ground, and they'll keep moving it forward as Slater goes over the left side, and that's Norwell's side, along with Oliver Phillips, the left guard. And this is something that Winton Woods has not had too much trouble with so far, but this offense seems to have found a niche right now, Jacob, and they're just pushing that ball forward.
Well, you know, the games I've seen them in, even against Dayton Dunbar, there's a certain period of time in these games where the opposing team can look good on the defense of Winton Woods for a few plays.
Perez in motion. They'll keep it on the counter. Slater finding a hole, and he got another first down as he moves it up to about the 49-yard line. He needed 4, he got 5.
Okay, so now it looks to me here, Andy, with the Redskins having this success running the ball, they got the Warriors in position to go to this young Mr. Runk, number 11, that's bound to put the Warriors in a tough matchup, keeping him covered in open field.
Now they're going to go play action. They look for Runk down the middle, and it's incomplete. Boy, they had a great play call on that time, but the pressure forced Rod to throw that ball a little bit early on the post route. John Runk, 6'4", 215 pounds. It's going to take more than one guy to bring him down tonight.
Exactly, and see this guy Runk, he's feeling it. He did good last week for him. Basically, his catch won the game for him last week, and they're going to have to make sure they get this guy covered in open field because he is too big.
2nd and 10. They'll try Slater again, and he'll pick up maybe 3 as they move it inside Winton Woods territory for the first time tonight. They'll mark it at the Warrior 48-yard line. 3rd and 8, a key 3rd down. After Winton Woods put some points on the board, Anderson trying to keep this drive alive and answer their score. Runk had 4 receptions, 90 yards, averaging 22.5 per catch so far in these playoffs with 1 touchdown. Twins to the far side. Runk going in motion. They'll give it to Slater, and he'll bust it through. Down the right side, 1 man to beat. It's Chris Williams, and he dives over the end line, but he stepped out of bounds at this 4. It'll be 1st and goal for the Redskins, and a huge run of 44 yards for Kyle Slater.
Good hole opened up by the Redskin offensive line. Malik Bomar pushed way downfield, place he's not accustomed to be steered to, and Chris Williams make a nice save for the Warriors.
Yep, good call by the officials. Nice job, crew. Able to pick up that shot. Clearly, you can see him step out of bounds. 1st and goal from the 4. In the pistol, they'll stay again. This time, Slater split out wide to the near side. Let's see if Rod keeps it himself. The give is to the fullback, Luis Perez, pushing through that offensive line, and he's going to be little bit short. Stopped on the play by number 46, Anthony Dawson.
Well, we have Anderson's running backs coach in the booth next to us, Andy, Bill Meltebrink, and I'm sure he's proud of the effort that's being put forth by his running backs out here now.
2nd and goal. This is the only risk when you're in this pistol is losing a couple yards on the play. Runk in motion. They'll run it with Slater. Diving over the top. He's in. Touchdown. All you've got to do is put the ball across the plane of the goal line, and Kyle Slater's athleticism puts 6 on the board for the Redskins.
Got it in there. He held that ball out a little bit, and hopefully next time he's holding that ball out like that, someone comes along and slaps it away.
Well, Rod stays on the field. Are they going to go for 2 here?
Looks like they're going for 2.
No, they're going to kick it. Howard in to attempt the extra point. He is 11 of 11 in these playoffs so far. It's down, it's up, and we are tied at 7 apiece. And no surprise here, partner. They've been getting it done on the ground, both teams. And we said at the start of the broadcast tonight, the battle of the trenches is going to determine this game on both offense and defense. So far, that seems to be the case.
And Winton Woods, they did the best they could, but you got to give the other team credit. When they can put a drive together like what the Redskins did there, you just have to salute that and come on with what you can and your chance with the ball here.
Well, the good news for the Warriors is they can put up points with anybody. Not just Anderson, but anybody in this state. So the fact that Anderson scored, I don't think scares them one bit. They can easily just come right out here and answer that with another touchdown. And remember, they deferred. So that might end up being a big play in this game by getting the ball to start the third quarter, even though we still got a long way till that comes to be. But just a couple of scenarios to put out there for you to keep in mind as the first half moves along here. So Howard will tee it up from his 40. Back to return is, I think that's Chris Williams back there, isn't it? Or is it Spolnitz?
Polnitz, yeah, Antonio Polnitz.
Yeah, it is, and that is a bomb of a kick. Automatic touchback out of the end zone. Well, if we can get a shot of the flag behind that south end zone, guys, the wind's picking up a little bit out there behind that goalpost by the scoreboard. Not as windy as it was last week, but again, Jacob, with this open stadium, you're going to see the wind shift a lot tonight. You can see it blowing right to left right now.
Well, certainly that could be a possibility, Andy, but the weather forecast that we have tonight, we just don't want to see the rains come down and turn this into a slip and slide effect.
Nope, and that would definitely be the case with this turf. It's the older turf. They're going to have to replace it in the next couple of years. Brown trying the right side. He'll break a tackle and get a good 6 yards on that first down run as he takes it out to the 26-yard line. Tackled on the play by Matt Pucillo, the strong safety.
Yeah, and the way this turf looks to me is that if it gets any kind of rain on it, you won't be able to make that cutback. You're going to slip every time you plan for the cutback, so it's going to turn it into a straight-ahead game.
2nd and 5, they give him 5 on the play. Goins through the right hole, breaks a tackle, has some blockers out in front, but on the cutback, he's tackled on the play by number 20, Michael Tincher, and that might have saved the touchdown. But a big run for Jeremiah Goins, and he'll go forward for another first down.
Good for the Warriors to pick up that first down and start answering this drive.
Warriors first down.
1st and 10 from the 45. No huddle offense here by the Warriors, Jacob. They'll try the inside handoff, and they may give him one, but I don't know. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, trying to catch the defense off guard. Nice tackle on the play by Nick Buchanan, the defensive end.
Looks like that may end up being the last play of the first quarter.
I would think both coaches would be content with that, but knowing this offense, that's not going to be the case.
The Warriors are due for their pass play to Marco Norman.
Norman is in motion. Brown will keep it himself. There's a flag on the play. That's our second one of the night. I have a feeling this is coming back.
This is coming back.
Illegal shift on the Warriors. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Brings up 2nd and 15.
You know, this is the penalties that the Warriors have to avoid. Of course, all teams have to avoid penalties. This was an execution penalty, but they have to definitely eliminate those penalties of passion.
Yeah, because the regular season matchup in Week 6, they only had 4 penalties, but they totaled 52 yards. Most of those were personal fouls or late hits, which allowed Anderson to outscore them 13-7 in that fourth quarter.
Okay, so here's Dominic Brown up to the line of scrimmage.
Now this should be the last play of the first quarter. If they even get it off, they may not.
Down to 3 seconds.
They'll get it off in time. Brown breaks a tackle and across midfield inside Anderson territory down at about the 49-yard line. That's a good run, and he picks up almost 10 yards after that penalty. So the first quarter has come to an end here at Mancuso Field, Viking Stadium on the campus of Cincinnati Princeton High School. And your score, it's the defending state champion Anderson Redskins 7 and the Winton Woods Warriors 7. A pretty entertaining first quarter there, Jacob.
This is definitely what we came for. This is an indication of what lies ahead deeper into the playoffs for whichever one of these Indian nations advances after this week.
Yeah, there's some dangerous teams still out there, those being Columbus, St. Francis de Sales. They're playing Louisville. Both teams undefeated going into tomorrow night's matchup, so that's something to look for there. Out west, you've got Sylvania Southview from the Toledo area taking on Medina Highland from the Cleveland area. And then you've got one more matchup up in the northeastern part of the state, Akron-Hoban against Talmadge. Those are all the matchups remaining in the Division II state playoffs. All those other games, of course, regional finals as well, which will determine the state semifinals, which will be played next weekend at neutral sites.
Well, next week's activity, both these teams deserve to be there. Only one of them can go.
And there you see when you can watch this game again on Channel 24, Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. on Local 4, Sunday at 12:30 p.m., Tuesday at 2 o'clock p.m., Thursday at 9 a.m., and Wednesday on Local 15 at 9 p.m.
Dominic Brown under center gives the goings inside.
And he is going to be short. Now, an interesting decision here for Coach Everhart. He's on Anderson's side of the 50. He's got a very good running offense. But you're in a tie game and it's 4th down. And you've got a really good punter that can pin him deep. What do you do here?
I would go ahead and punt. It's early in the game. It's not quite that fork in the road, stick fork in a moment. Punt and play defense here.
Well, I think he's going to disagree with you.
Yeah,
They're going to go for it here, because the offense stays on the field. So are they going to try to draw him off, or are they actually going to go for it here? 4th and 2 from the Anderson 47-yard line.
Brown probably going to try to get this himself.
They shift, and they did get him to jump, and that's going to be a big penalty against the Redskins and a key first down for the Winton Woods Warriors.
Well, they sure got him to jump off sides. I think if they would actually run a play, Brown would have probably did that quarterback draw that he likes in that situation.
We've got numbers at the end of the first quarter, Jacob. Total yardage, 95 for Anderson, 97 for Winton Woods. And we're in a tie game. Gee, I wonder why.
Well, certainly at this point in the season, everyone who's in the playoffs deserves to be here.
Brown, finds a gap and able to pick up a couple as he almost lost some yardage. Nice read on the play by Michael Tincher. Almost got him in the backfield, but he's still able to pick up positive yards and gets 2, 2nd and 8 for the Anderson 40-yard line.
Anderson defense looks over to their sideline for their signals. Body language on the field looks like both teams are into it.
Kendrick Jordan split out to the near side down here in front of our press box.
It's like Brown's under center again. Norman in motion.
Brown will keep it, cuts back upfield, breaks a tackle, and runs over the secondary before he gets another first down as he took Michael Tincher with him. He'll move it inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, a 12-yard gain.
That's a 12-yard pickup. Breaks that tackle, runs this guy over for another 4 yards. I don't know, but Dominic Brown is a junior.
Yeah, he's only a junior. Isn't that scary? And so is Goins.
Yeah, there's going to be blue suede shoes all over this coming year.
1st and 10 from the 28 as the Warriors continue to eat up that clock. This time they'll go back inside and muscle it through with Goins. He's tackled by Schlosser. Bigelow in there as well to make the stop for the Redskins.
Now, Andy, do you think the Warriors kind of want to run this clock and give Anderson as little time as possible with the ball, seeing that Anderson can move the ball just as effectively as they can.
Well, both teams, I think, would give you the old cliche that the best offense is a good defense. And I think that's reversed when you look at these two teams. The best defense is a good offense because they're keeping the other team's offense off the field.
Exactly. And I can see where you were coming from with these guys that Anderson has back for this game.
Timeout, Coach Everhart and the Winton Woods Warriors. That's their first timeout of the first half. They have 2 remaining. Anderson still has all 3 of theirs remaining. Well, folks, you could have an opportunity to be a part of a football broadcast if Winton Woods wins tonight, or there are plenty of other broadcasts coming up here in the fall and winter high school sports seasons right here at Waycross. Join us by calling 513-825-2429 or log on to the website waycross.tv. Click on the crew schedule to find out more information on how to become part of our crew.
This is a good way to help your country without sitting in a foxhole.
And apparently, from what I've been hearing throughout the state, I know a lot of people in different parts of the state, Jacob, rumor has it that the blizzard of 78 is going to look like nothing compared to the winter that lies ahead in the state of Ohio this year. That remains to be seen, obviously, because we're only in November and we haven't even had rain at this point. But as we saw last year in March when the blizzard hit down here, who knows what could happen. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. More reason to get people out, become part of the crew, come into the gyms and into the rinks when we start doing St. X hockey here in a couple of weeks.
A lot of good basketball. The Winton Woods Warriors have good boys and girls basketball programs.
Brown trying to cut it over the right tackle and left tackle, excuse me, and gets 1, maybe 2, but tackled on the play by number 17, Kevin Kripe. Actually, that's Bruner in there playing defense now as well, number 12. Starting wide receiver.
Well, you know, talking to Coach E, he referred me to the game against Harrison. Doss, and Dugan. He had high regard for that tandem, and he knows that Anderson, if they protect on offensive line, they could give him the same concerns that Doss and Dugan from Harrison did.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 2. The reverse to Thomas Owens, cuts back to the middle, and that move right there might have gotten him the first down. I think they're going to have to measure here. The little counter tray on that inside handoff, and not sure if he's going to get it. Yeah, they do give it to him. No measurement needed. Nice move by Owens. Walla had him, lost him, and in a game like this, Jacob, you've got to make that first tackle. You can't allow these runners for both teams to get into the secondary.
Well, the Warriors needed that first down. Normally they give it to their sure guy, but I guess they have to let somebody else take the load too so they don't stack it up on Goins every time.
This is a long drive, and they've taken up almost 10 minutes off the clock going back into the first quarter. Norman in motion. Brown cuts it through to the left side, turning the corner, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. Dominique Brown with his 6th rushing touchdown of the playoffs, 2nd of tonight's ball game.
Nice downfield block by Marco Norman in there after he's coming off his motion. This Winton Woods Warriors offense, I've seen some of the best downfield blocking by some of these receivers. You don't see it on Sundays around here.
Velez in to attempt the extra point, trying to keep perfect throughout these playoffs in that category. Williams, the holder. It's up and right down the middle. Make it 16 out of 16 for Oliver Velez in the playoffs. And the Warriors answer right back and retake the lead. It's 14-7 Winton Woods. Well, both of these offenses are playing great tonight, Jacob, but at some point, somebody's got to get a stop to win the game.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, it could just be a matter of who has the ball last, like in some of those CFL games. Well, you know, like Bill Parcells says, don't give them the anointing oils yet, but it's hard not to the way this Warriors team plays.
So Spencer will kick it for the 3rd time tonight. Bruner and Nakakura once again back to return for the Redskins.
You know, Anderson, I was told they felt it at last game. when they played the Warriors. I don't think Anderson figured the Warriors would be as physical as they were that last game. But now they know. So Luke Spencer is about to step off into this kick. Last kick was kind of short.
Waiting the official's cue. And now we're ready to go. He'll kick it short again. This will be taken by one of the upbacks. And he's got a hole. And can't break the tackle. Good job, Mr. Special Teams. Zach Bailey that time comes up with a big tackle. Otherwise, that could have been 6 the other way. The backup quarterback there, Brandon Bornhauser, with the return for the Anderson Redskins.
Well, I don't know what the Warriors' kicking game plans are, but they're going to have to kick that ball deeper than this.
So Daniel Rod will bring his offense back onto the field as Kyle Slater took him in over the goal line to put the first points on the boards tonight for the Redskins. Let's see if they can answer back. Hard count, Slater again, right up the middle, and he'll get an easy 5 yards as he moves it up to the 40-yard line.
Looks like Anderson is about to give the Warriors a taste of their own medicine, pounding that ball up the middle.
There you see Norwell picking up Anthony Brown, and those are the type of blocks, folks, that have coaches like Tressel and also Coach Kelly from Cincinnati, who, by the way, is winning in Louisville tonight. That game on up here in the press box. They'll try the right side for Kyle Slater, and he gets a couple more as he moves it out to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Nope. Pardon me. They're going to mark it at the 42, make it 3rd and 3.
Looks like we're down to 7 minutes left to go in the first half.
What do you think? Do you think they keep it on the ground here, 3rd and short? They've had some success, but a little predictable right now the way they've been running this offense. Runk will line up in the slot. They'll go trips out to the near side. Now moving Perez in motion. He'll keep it on the ground. Slater with the speed right through the middle of the defense again. And a touchdown-saving tackle by Kalen Sofer, but not before Kyle Slater takes it down to the Warrior 40-yard line.
Well, again, this is where the Redskins have stayed with their offensive identity and are playing a much more competitive game by doing so.
That's a big 20-yard run by Kyle Slater on 3rd and 3.
I mean, I don't get me wrong, Andy, I think the Skins are going to have to pass at some point to loosen this thing up. But for now, they're sticking with their identity.
Direct snap to Slater. That's the second time they've tried to run that, and he'll get maybe 2 at the most on that one.
Well, that was a nice touchdown-saving tackle on that last play by Kalen Sofer. Definitely made sure he wrapped and made the stop the way it was pretty much a textbook tackle, even though it was a big play for the Skins.
He does only get 1, 2nd and 9. Now 3 backs with Rod lined up in the deep back. They'll direct snap it again. Slater trying to find a hole on that left side and can't get much. Good tackle by Anthony Brown. Just this week, finally, somebody figures out this kid knows how to play football, receives a verbal offer from Eastern Michigan University in the MAC Conference.
Looks like a lot of these schools now realize the Winton Woods Warriors brain trust over the years has put together a ball club where you got a lot of potential Saturday afternoon players out here.
3rd and 5, a bad snap. Rod in trouble, still able to pick it up and make something out of nothing. And this will bring up an interesting decision on 4th down now for the Redskins. They are in Winton Woods territory, but if you don't get this, that's a shorter field for Winton Woods to go back the other way, and they're going to make sure they have the right play call. Their first timeout of this first half as we get another look on good heads-up play by Daniel Rod. Now, in most cases, I think you'd rather the quarterback fall on the football and not risk a turnover, but he did have plenty of time, and there were no blue jerseys around him in the backfield, so I think that's why you saw him pick it up and try to make something, and he almost got the first down. He was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
What almost looked to me, if they had a clean handoff, he was looking to pitch that ball to Runk going around in.
4th and 5 now on the Winton Woods 35-yard line.
Anderson Redskins calling a timeout here.
Yeah, they have 2 remaining. So do the Warriors. Howard's long in the playoffs so far is a 23-yarder. This would be a 52-yard attempt, so I think you kind of have to go for this here.
Oh, yeah, they got good 4-down territory. You can't trade field goals for touchdowns now in this game.
So the Anderson fans on their feet trying to rally their team to a first down, maybe more. Runk in motion. They'll give it to Slater. He'll try to go through the middle. He's not going to get it. They were read perfectly that time by the linebacking core of Dawson, Marvin, and Hampton right there to stuff that middle.
Warrior defense stands up tall in that situation and looks like they're going to get the ball back pending a real punt here.
So now momentum completely on the Warriors side, and Anderson's bench right down in front of us here at the press box, Jacob, up in the press box, and a little bit of a down look after not picking up that first down. They can't do that. You have to be able to put plays like that, miscues behind you, move on to the next play, and now hope that your defense can get you the ball back without the Warriors going down and putting some more points on the board.
Oh, exactly. There's no reason to get down on yourself yet if you're Anderson. What you need to do here is execute a nice punt and keep Winton Woods from turning this into a big play going the other way.
4.5 remaining in the second quarter. Ideally here, if you're the Warriors, Jacob, I'm thinking 4 minutes, touchdown. It's 21-7 at the half. You get the ball to start the third quarter. This defense could easily hold on to a 3-touchdown lead in the second half. Even as good as Anderson's offense is, I think the first team that goes up by 2 or 3 tonight won't be looking back at the end of the scoreboard.
That's pretty safe to figure. So are you going to take us out to dinner if it happens that way?
Not tonight. It's going to be a little closer than expected with that. Goings up the middle. He'll pick up a good 3, maybe 4 as he moves it out across the 35 to the 37. They will give him 4, 2nd and 6. Tackled on the play by the nose tackle, Tyler Knapp.
It's like Jeremiah Goins, like every week we've been watching him, man. He gets as sure as gravity. When you give him the ball, something good's going to happen. He's not letting it go, rolling it out on the carpet. And I shouldn't have said that so soon.
In motion, they'll try the inside handoff. Goings running through the defense. Ripped down to the ground by Bigelow, but not before another big run by Jeremiah Goings as he moves it inside Anderson territory to the 46-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 on the run.
That's low center of gravity on Goings there. And like I said, it's just going to be tough for one guy to bring him down once he breaks into your secondary.
1st and 10, clock moving, 3:40 to go in the first half. On the option, Dominic Brown down the left side again, gets 9. Stopped on the play by Adam Tinchner. Michael Tinchner, excuse me.
So here we go with 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the half. Like you said earlier, Andy, the first team that goes up by 2, maybe 3 touchdowns is in the catbird seat, and Warriors are trying to see to it that it's them.
So far, Anderson has kept Brown and Goins in check. They haven't busted one over 20, 25 yards. That could easily change right here, and it could be 21-7. Brown again. Will try over the top, and he got enough for the first down. That's all he needed. Remember, they have 2 timeouts left, but right now, no need to stop the clock. Keep it moving. Remember, they get the ball coming out in the second half.
Well, second half of this game, they start out with the ball, and I'm sure they're going to use that drive to make a statement about the rest of this game.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Coming up, the bands will take the field at halftime, and Jacob and I will be joined up here in the press box by the injured Warrior, cornerback Avery Cunningham. We'll hear what it's like not being able to play in a game like this. Also, he'll give us a little bit of an insight as to what goes on during the week in preparation for a big game.
Well, Avery Cunningham, he's been like a coach on the sidelines. He's helping out around practice, making sure everybody stays upbeat, and he helps me around the practice when I visit, and certainly if they had Avery Cunningham in their backfield now, their chances would be that much better. But that's not to say they haven't come up with good replacements for him.
Kalen Silfer and Corey Weber have done a tremendous job filling in for their teammates. 2nd and 7. Those guys both only sophomore. Brown will throw, dropping back deep downfield, and that ball is almost intercepted. What a dangerous throw late in the half by Dominique Brown.
Yeah, they're lucky to be getting that one back, Andy.
Good protection. He just let that one sail a little bit.
He just overshot Marco Norman. That's that pass they like to use, but a little bit overthrown.
Well, the clock stops, and now it's 3rd and 7.
Well, either way now, they are certainly in field goal range. What do we have here?
From the 31, it'd be about a 48-yarder. They'll try the option of break in the defense, and that's going to allow Brown to break it into the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors.
No flags on the field, so that's going to stand all the way.
And those are the type of plays that Coach Keesting said could not happen tonight. A huge run. Mr. MVP, Dominique Brown. Look, he is fired up on that far sideline. He has all 3 touchdowns in the first half for the Warrior running game.
This guy is your quarterback. You know when you go in that huddle that he's got no quit or give up in him. And those blue suede shoes, there they are, slashing and dashing across that end zone.
Boy, what happened in that defensive front? They just broke up, and it's almost like they over-pursued and allowed that gap to happen. Velez didn't get all of it, but got enough to push it through. He's now 17 out of 17 in the playoffs. And a big, big 2-touchdown lead now for the Warriors. Only a minute 43 left, but the Redskins do have 2 timeouts, and they have a great quarterback in Daniel Rod.
And certainly this is where late in the half of any game, you don't want to give the team that's down any momentum.
Remember, Jacob, we saw this Anderson team score quickly in the second half of that Week 6 matchup in the regular season. They scored their 13 points in less than 3 minutes to make that game a lot closer than it really was.
Well, that game was in late September, but now in mid-November, Winton Woods is aware of what's on the line and what's at stake in this ball game.
Luke Spencer tees it up from his 40-yard line.
If Anderson was watching films of last week's game, they saw the near touchdown by Kings on the double reverse on the kickoff.
Pretty deep kick this time. It'll be taken by Bornhauser again. He's got a few blocks and a good tackle by Malik Bomar there on special teams. First time we've called his name tonight, but Winton Woods has a 2-touchdown lead. That doesn't really matter right now.
That's right, and I'm sure if he's needed, whenever and when he's needed, he will be there.
So 1st and 10 from the 28 after a decent return, but this time Bornhauser couldn't find the gap quick enough.
Well, this is where I don't know what Anderson's offensive strategy would be here, but if I had anything to do with it, I'd try to send a hail to the chief pass down here to Mr. Runk in this situation.
Well, they've got a post option here. If he can get to well, they fake the pass, and now with a halfback draw, Slater busts through a number of tackles and gets a 13-yard gain as he moves it to the 43-yard line. Another first down for the Redskins. Clock will stop until they set down the football.
Nice stop eventually made by Tristan Marvin for the Warriors. Said the skin stops here.
Rod ready with the play call. Play action pass. Out route, Luis Perez trying to get it to the first down marker. Jacob, he's got to know to get out of bounds in that situation.
Well, he saw Malik Bomar there, so I don't know. That might have changed his thinking some or what, but that was a nice tackle by Bomar there.
Quick out there. Good throw by Rod. You can see his arm strength to that out pattern. Under a minute to go. 2 timeouts remaining for the Redskins, but they're marching the football. Again, a quick pass. This time Runk gets out of bounds on the hitch, and a first down for the Redskins as they move it inside of Winton Woods territory to the 44-yard line.
Well, this is where you got to be careful with this John Runk. That time he stepped out of bounds and turned that way, but you throw that to him again and he may turn inside. And if you don't have hats there, I mean, that's not to say Corey Weber didn't do a good job on him, but he's going to have to step it up big time tonight because before it's all over, they're going to that guy.
Play action pass down the middle. Perez intercepted by Chris Williams. Williams
Nice
hit hard by Kyle Slater, and that was out of frustration for a ill-advised throw by Daniel Rod late in the first half. And that's one you don't have to throw, and I know he'd like to have that back.
Well, you know, Andy, the hang time Chris Williams had on going up for this ball was just like a Michael Jordan hang time there. That was beautiful.
Well, he's either got to throw it sooner or wait for Perez to get behind Williams and then throw it, and he didn't do either, and that's a costly turnover, the second of the first half now for the Anderson Redskins.
It looks like the Winton Woods Warriors want to make use of this possession because they know if nothing else, well, no, they're not. They're going to go and get it in here at halftime.
Remember, they get the ball to come out in the second half, and I think this is the right call here by Coach E. So a lot of adjustments needed to be made on one side, and just keep doing what you're doing on the other, it looks like here, partner.
And that's what the Warriors have been doing all week of practice. They trust this scheme that Coach E has developed for them. Coach Boyd, the offensive coordinator, his brain trust of Winton Woods deserves all the credit, along with the families, the mothers, the ones cooking the Campbell soup for these guys when they go home.
Yeah, they're going to need it at the end of the night. It's going to get a little chilly out there by night's end, but right now, very cold in one locker room and a lot to be excited about in the other. Your score at the end of the first half in this Division II regional final at Mancuso Field, it's the Winton Woods Warriors 21 and the defending state champion Anderson Redskins 7. We'll be back with the bands and more after this on Waycross Media.
High School pride of AHS Marching Band. They're pleased to perform for you tonight at this Region 8 playoff game at Princeton. This evening, the Anderson High School Marching Band leaves behind their superior state performance and presents a brand new show. Tonight, we take our traditional pregame performance, the AHS Scramble, to the playoff level. We hope you enjoy the band tonight performing a mega scramble with brand new music for your enjoyment. We begin with Talk to Me, Dance with Me, featuring cowbell soloist Reed Apgar. The show will then continue with a rendition of Jimi Hendrix' Fire. Slam concludes with an Anderson Standard Europe's final countdown. Be ready to join the band as they finish their mega scramble with the scramble cheer in the Anderson fight song.
Waycross Community Media. Waycross provides public, educational, and government access to the communities and its residents of Forest Park, Green Hills, and Springfield Township. Programs shown on Waycross are produced, directed, announced, and run by people just like you. To get involved, call Waycross Community Media at 825-2429 or check us out on the web at www.waycross.org.
While the Winton Woods band is on the field, ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to be joined up in the press box by one of the normal starting Warriors on defense, but unfortunately he's injured and unfortunately also out for the season, Avery Cunningham. First of all, Avery, thank you for coming up and taking the time to join us. Welcome to the press box and welcome to your Warriors, now a half away from a state semifinal.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, talk a little bit about what you've seen on the field. Obviously, we saw a dominant first half by you guys on offense, and this running attack just doing what it does normal.
Well, both teams are playing hard. Well, our defense needs to tighten up a little bit, and then if we do that, then we should come out on top.
I know, being a former athlete myself, anytime you're hurt, I unfortunately didn't have an injury like yours, but I'm sure it's hard to watch And instead of being out there, especially knowing that the season could potentially be on the line, this is the defending state champions you're playing against. But how have you learned to cope with that since being out in the second or third week of the season?
I got great teammates, and they've just been picking me up ever since my injury. And then it's been a joy just watching them play and just keep winning. And hopefully we do it again tonight.
When you talked to Coach E and he found out, and you found out that your season was unfortunately coming to an end, did he have any words of encouragement or talk to you in any way about how you were still a part of the team and he wanted you to still feel like you were a part of the team, even though you weren't able to put on the pads?
He just told me to keep my head up and just lead my teammates as a captain, and that's what I've been trying to do ever since my injury.
What was the turning point for you guys this season? Because I know you had the tough loss to Bishop Watterson on your home field, but after that loss, I mean, you pretty much dominated everybody you've played. Did you guys know you could be this good this soon, even though you're a core of mostly juniors?
We had these expectations before the season started. Our goal is to reach the state finals and win it, and so that's what we're going to try to do.
Well, you play in a very difficult conference with teams like Anderson, Turpin, and Kings. Were you pretty excited to see Kings upset Turpin? Because I know you guys have had trouble with them in the past.
Personally, it didn't matter to me. I didn't care if we played Turpin or Kings because Turpin beat us last year, and I wouldn't mind getting some revenge on them as well. Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of your teammates felt the same way. This offense this year has just taken off. It's come to another level. Dominique and Jeremiah are different players with that extra year of experience. They've been able to really read defenses exceptionally well. Did you notice that a lot in practice leading up to the season, that those guys were going to be this good?
Absolutely. I knew it was the first week we started. Very first game. And the offensive line is doing their job. They're doing a really good job. And they keep moving piles.
Talk to us a little bit about what a typical week is like for the Warriors as far as Coach Everhart's approach, how much film you guys watch compared to how much you try to translate out onto the field.
Well, everybody should be watching film every day, and and Coach E try to motivate us, and then every Tuesday we try to go hard against each other and full pads, full goal, just try to knock each other's heads off, and then that's just going to get us better.
Every coach has a different style when he coaches his players individually and when he coaches his players as a team. How would you describe Coach Everhart's style in respects to that?
I say he's hard on everybody because he just wants the best for us. Yeah, that's how I'll describe it. Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of you guys look to him as somewhat of a father figure when you're on the field and in the locker rooms? And, you know, a lot of people say the football team and a team in general is like a family. Do you guys have that camaraderie and that feel in the locker room?
Absolutely. And we all look to Coach E as a dad, and then all these assistant coaches, too. I mean, they help a lot, too.
Who were some of the players growing up that you looked up to that made you want to get into the game of football in the first place?
Absolutely. It's got to be Chris Williams. I mean, he's been my role model. I try to lead after him on the field, and he plays the game hard, and then that's how I try to play the game.
Well, he and your teammates Malik and Tristan Marvin all verbally committed to the University of Cincinnati. Is it possible next year, if you could stay healthy and have some success, that you could be following them a year after that?
It's possible. I mean, I'm very familiar with Coach Combs and Coach Tracy, the defensive coordinator, and I went to their camp, and they seem interested in me. And so we'll just see what happens.
How have you guys been able to stay focused? Because you killed Dunbar, you killed Kings. You knew coming into tonight it was going to be a tough game, but right now you're playing just as well as you have in those first two games. The only difference tonight is your opponent's a little bit more talented, so the game's been able to be a little bit closer.
We just take one game at a time. We just try to play hard against every team, and we just try to beat them.
How much, as a young man and as a team, do you guys look at what's written in the papers or what the media says, how the media picked all you guys? Do you guys buy into any of that, or do you try to ignore it because you feel it might distract you a little bit from the task at hand, and that is obviously getting to a state championship?
Well, any team can beat you on any given day, and we don't really care what the newspapers say. We just got to play our game, play hard, and come out with the victory.
When you saw Chris pick off that ball at the end of the first half, obviously the momentum was with you guys. You're able to take a knee, you get the ball coming out in the second half. But was there any part of you or your teammates that were a little bit nervous about how quick Anderson was moving before that turnover?
Nah, I'm just saying if we did our jobs like we did, Chris made a great play, and then we're just gonna be fine. We just gotta leave it in their hands.
Well, I know Coach E also emphasizes scholastics as well as football in terms of the academics. Talk a little bit about how you guys have been able to keep your grades where they need to be, where they should be, and have a chance to succeed in the classroom as well, not just on the football field.
I think we're all doing a great job, all of our teammates. For the first time ever, we had 100% eligibility coming into these playoffs, and that's a good thing.
That's tremendous. Now, I know obviously you want to go to college, not just to play football, but to pursue a degree. Have you thought any at all? I know you're only a junior, but majors or anything, what you want to really try to focus on when you get to college?
I have 3 choices: journalism, sports medicine, or something with the law.
Well, you know a little bit about sports medicine because of your injury, so you're getting a little bit of an edge on that. But what's the recovery process like for you now? So give us a little bit of an idea of your rehabilitation schedule, how much you can do, how much you're limited to, that sort of thing.
Well, I try to rehab every day, and then I go to the Beacon Orthopedics to rehab twice a week, and I just try to work hard, just trying to come strong for track season and come strong for football, for the next football season.
Now, you were telling me earlier tonight when you first got up here, you're a little bit ahead of schedule. Obviously, you're not going to be able to play football again this year, but you got some other sports coming up that you want to try to be healthy for. Do you feel like you can actually feel the strength coming back into your shoulder?
I know I can. My goal is to come back in 4 months, because the doctors say that the injury lasts from 4 to 6 months, and 4 months was my goal.
Okay, well, Avery, we appreciate you taking the time here tonight. Best of luck to you and your teammates as you try to finish this thing off here in the second half and move one game closer to that title. Congratulations on a great season for you and your teammates, and best of luck in your recovery, and hopefully we'll see you back on the field next year in your senior year.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
Okay, that's Avery Cunningham, injured defensive back for the Winton Woods Warriors. They have the lead here at halftime over the Anderson Redskins, 21-7 as the teams come back onto the football field. My partner Jacob Williams will rejoin me here in a quick second, but if you're just joining us, you missed a very entertaining first half, and Winton Woods just completely dominated on offense, but their defense really stepped up when it had to, forced a couple of turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. And I know Coach Everhart has to feel really good about the way his team played in the first half, but I also know that he knows this game is very far from being over, even if they do come out and do what they anticipate, which is score a touchdown to start this second half, as the Redskins taking their time coming back onto the field. I would imagine, Jacob, that a lot more was said in the Anderson locker room than the Winton Woods locker room there at the half. But Anderson still in this game, but I know the Warriors want to really try to come out, take a lot of that clock here early in the third quarter, put one more score up, and then leave it up to the defense from that point on.
Well, yeah, and he's saying like you were about the locker rooms. You know, talking to Coach E the other day, you know, he said to me that they don't do a whole lot of rah-rah and fire and brimstone in their locker room. It's just, you know, making their adjustments and coming out the second half. And I wanted to ask young Avery what his version of the facts are in the locker room. But whatever he's telling these guys, like I said, that Harrison game, they were down by 2 touchdowns, and they came back in the second half just fired up.
Well, they don't have to come back, fortunately, so far here tonight. That remains to be seen whether or not they have to come back at all in this ball game, which they haven't done. And I think that's been a really big key for this team during this playoff run and during this winning streak, going back to the loss after Bishop Watterson, is that they have been able to get out and score quick and take the lead. And I think that gives both sides of the ball so much confidence. And when this team plays with confidence, Jacob, there aren't many that can beat them in this state.
Oh, and not only playing with confidence, but they're playing mistake-free football, you know, where they're not beating themselves with those penalties of passion. And, you know, if the other team has to do their own beating, then it's not going to happen.
Well, I got an update from a really good friend of mine that is a former graduate of Sylvania Southview, who is a potential matchup for the Warriors or the winner of this game. We shouldn't just assume that, but right now it's looking like the Warriors. They're playing Medina Highland. They're tied at 14 right now at the half, and they both have some turnover problems, but the weather up north is a lot different than it is down here. It's raining, it's windy, it's even snowing, I think, in some parts of the state right now, so that could have a little bit to do with that, but we'll try to keep an eye on that game if we can, and get some updates on that. Now we're being told, Jacob, up here in the press box that we could see some rain on this field tonight by the middle of this quarter, so we'll keep an eye on that, see how accurate the crew is with their forecasting skills and their meteorology degrees, among other many great things that they do for us here at Waycross. So that'll be interesting to see. But I think really honestly, that may be the only way Anderson gets back into this game, is if the elements have something to say about it, because Winton Woods is doing everything they want to on both sides of the ball right now. And when we look at the stats, it's going to prove that to be the case.
Well, I don't think the rain is going to affect either one of these teams, because they have the personnel that can just run straight at you. They don't have to depend on speed. They can just, bull you with power. So as long as they're not having to make cuts in those moves in open field, the rain, they'll be fine with that. As far as the halftime statistics, well, it looks like as far as Winton Woods and Anderson compare with each other, rushing yards, Anderson had 22 attempts for 136 yards. Winton Woods 28 attempts at 193 yards. Total offensive plays, 27 offensive plays for Anderson for 156 yards, and 31 offensive plays for 208 yards for Winton Woods Warriors.
Well, you talked about those 100-some yards for Anderson on the ground, even though they're losing. Winton Woods was only giving up 3 rushing yards a game coming into tonight. So Anderson's been able to find some success, but the key has been the turnovers. And when you look back at that first half, I think you and I both agree, it wasn't just the type of turnovers, Jacob, but it was the timing and when those turnovers occurred. Winton Woods and Anderson were scoreless. Anderson fumbles. Winton Woods turns that into the first touchdown of the game. Anderson was driving near the end of the first half. They had a chance to maybe cut it to 1, maybe even get a field goal. Knowing Winton Woods gets the ball, they throw a very ill-advised pass. They turn it over. Winton Woods takes a knee, and they carry all that momentum in coming out to this third quarter. So not just the number or how many, but the timing and when those turnovers occur. And any coach will tell you that those are such a big factor, especially this late in your season.
Well, it looks like another thing we want to consider is if Anderson possesses the ball and doesn't give it up on a turnover, they are 3 of 5 on third down conversions, whereas the Warriors are 2 of 4 on third down conversions.
And that time of possession was something that I know you always key in on a lot. I would think it had been mostly won by the Warriors in that first half.
Yeah, the Warriors had 13 minutes, 42 seconds with the ball, where the Redskins held it for 10 minutes and 18 seconds.
All right, so the teams are back on the field, and we are ready to start quarter number 3. It'll be John Howard to tee it up from his own 40. Antonio Polnitz back to return the kick for the Winton Woods Warriors as the winds continue to shift here at Mancuso Field at Viking Stadium on the campus of Cincinnati Princeton High School.
Well, this is where Anderson Redskins kicking off, may have a onside kick against the door. Might want to try to get this ball back. Warriors do have somewhat of a hands team up front.
Well, when you've got a kicker that puts it into the end zone, I don't think you need to worry about an onside kick. And I think even though Daniel Rod had 2 turnovers in that first half for the offense, I think a majority of the scolding or fired up speech, whatever you want to call it, went to the defense. Because right now, Jacob, it's in their hands to get the ball back to the offense and keep the Warriors off the board so the score stays right where it's at.
And not only get the ball back to the offense, in some situations you need the defense to maybe possibly score a touchdown or else give you lead pipe field position.
Inside handoff to Goings, and he'll get 1 on the play. 2nd and 9. We'll reset the offense for you. Up front, Kevin Thomas, Brian Davis, Brandon Smith, James Richardson, and Alvin Waller trying to make the block here for the running back, Jeremiah Goings. The quarterback is Dominique Brown. The other tailback is Marco Norman. The receivers are Glover and Jordan, and the tight end, Anthony Talbert. So 2nd and 8. They'll give him 2, actually, on the run from the 22-yard line. We'll reset the defense for you after this play.
Dominic Brown in the center, Marco Norman in motion. The pitch is to Norman, and it's out in the open on the 8-yard line.
And that ball is recovered by Jake Lackner, and a penalty flag on the play. I think this is going to be a passion penalty, as you like to call them, partner. And what a huge turn of events this could be for this football game.
I personally don't know what that play call was there, but it's going to now be up to the Winton Woods Warrior defense.
Well, it was the option, but Brown needs to learn there's got to be some times where you have to give the defense credit and hold on to the football, take the loss in yardage, and not try to make a play on every single situation. After the play, personal foul on Anderson. So they do keep the football, but they are moved back a lot farther than they were. I don't know if we'll see the penalty maybe here at the end of the play.
Well, the pitch was behind Norman. And like you said, partner, it shouldn't have been made in the first place.
Jake Lackner right there, number 30, with the recovery. And there's the penalty right there. Good job, crew. Way to stay with it. And an ill-advised passion flag, but prime field position for the Redskins. 1st and 10 from the Winton Woods 20. They'll try Slater up the middle, and he'll get a good 5, maybe 6 on that run as they move it down to the 16.
Kyle Slater, the ball carrier.
Here's the line up front for the Redskin offense. Andrew Norwell, Oliver Phillips, Nick Sherman, Max Elliott, and Greg Mance. The receivers are Runk and Bruner. The tight end Becker, the quarterback Rod, and you saw Slater run it there. There's the fullback Perez in motion. They'll try the left side. Slater busting through. He's tackled by David Hampton. He's going to be close but short. 3rd and a few here for the Redskins, and the coaching staff infuriated. They wanted a passion penalty flag, maybe warranted there against Winton Woods.
Well, it looked like both guys were equally involved in something extracurricular there.
3rd and 3 now, and I would think, even though it's early, this is 4-down territory no matter what happens here.
Yeah, no matter what. Although, you know, you might want to just get something on the board here if they stop you.
Bruner split out wide to the near side. Runk lined up off side of the tight end. They'll run the option, the pitch to Slater, and he is
met.
But I'll tell you what, the second effort might have gotten the mark.
Another flag on the play,
And
late flag, so that indicates a penalty of passion, I'm sure.
I think this one might be going against Anderson again. Let's first see if they got the first down on the second effort, and then see where the penalty came in. Personal foul against the Warriors. That is huge right there. At half the distance to the goal. Let's see if we can pick up where it happened.
Well, it looks like I saw a block in the back there. Of course, it don't matter if I saw it.
No, we don't see it from our angle. It happened outside of the play, behind the play, after the play, which is why they moved it half the distance. So 1st and goal from the 5 now. Last time they were here, Slater hopped over the end for the touchdown. Play action, rolling out, firing, touchdown! Anderson Redskins, a perfect play call, and it's the tight end, Kevin Becker, with his first of the postseason.
Nice pass to the tight end. This is where the Redskins are doing well to mix this thing up and prove that they have weapons other than these guys running the ball.
Look at the strength in that throw, and a bullet right there to Becker. And they used Runk as a nice little decoy there. You thought they might throw the deep fade route, but a nice play call by the offensive coordinating staff for the Redskins. And both teams so far, Jacob, touchdown off a turnover, assuming that Howard gets this one through, and he does. And just like that, it is a brand new football game, 21-14. And Mr. Moe just went from blue to white right there. A very, very costly turnover for the Warriors.
Costly turnover, but it's still time for the Warriors to stand up and turn this thing around. Don't let that one turnover be the end all of your motion.
Now, Dominic Brown is a junior. He'll be coming back next year for his senior year. But the quarterback is always your captain. And I think it's up to a captain to be able to forget about a mistake like that at this point.
Oh, and they've proved that they can forget things. I believe the Warriors will come back from this Probably try to eat the clock now from here on.
So the turnovers are now 2-1 in favor of Anderson, which is the only stat in football you don't want to be on the plus side. And Howard will tee it up from his 40. I would imagine you'll see him kick this one out of the end zone once again.
So we got, who was that, Antonio Polnitz back there deep to receive this kick. I'm sure he'd like to get a chance to make a return on one of these. Warriors got another.
Look at the strength in that young man's leg right there. Boy, that's such an asset. It really is, Jacob. You know, in special teams, I think it's overlooked too many times when you look at the box score at the end of the game. But it's a play like that that set up the defense, that forced the turnover, that allowed the offense to go in and score.
Oh, yeah. So this is where the Winton Woods Warriors have to get their kicker, although I think the world of Luke Spencer, he's going to have to kick it deeper or go to some type of squib thing.
So not even 2 minutes in, and Anderson has cut it down to a 1-touchdown deficit. Brown to the right side. He'll get a couple, but he's tackled on the inside by Nick Buchanan and Adam Bigelow. Bigelow's 5th tackle of this ball game.
Nick Buchanan looks like he's trying to make a strip off of that play, too.
And 30, Jake Lackner.
Okay, looks like Anthony Talbert checks into the huddle for Winton Woods Warriors.
2nd and 6 from their own 24-yard line. And the crowd, if they were sleeping, is wide awake right now.
Walker Norman in motion.
He'll give it to Goings. He'll break some tackles into the secondary across the 40 to the 43, 19 yards and a first down for the Warriors.
I'll tell you that Jeremiah Goings, he may not be a bullfrog, but he's a friend of this offensive line, I'm sure.
Tackled on the play by Luke Bissinger.
So the Warriors break the huddle. Dominic Brown under center, Goings back there behind him. Norman in motion to give to Goings inside again.
And he'll get a couple as he moves it up near the 45. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 44 as we approach 9 minutes remaining in quarter number 3.
Well, this is where the Warriors, if they can keep plus yardage on all these plays, 4 yards, 6 yards, keep this clock running, they have a chance to snuff out any momentum that the Redskins gathered from that last touchdown.
Watch how many shifts you'll see on that defensive front trying to read this run attack. Oh, and that's a penalty.
Yep.
A penalty on Bissinger undercutting Dominic Brown. It may have been accidental, but again, that has to be called, and a good job by the officials for being aware of that. You cannot undercut a player from his knees and expect to not get called, and you'll see it right here on the replay.
After the play,
he had going stops if he'd given him the, well, he did give him the ball.
Well, there's no question about that. That's an awful play by that young man. No need to undercut Dominic Brown, and you see him getting the
there's Coach Woodham and a whole
earful right there.
And I don't think he's asking him what his mom's Thanksgiving recipes are here either.
Nope, but you know, as mean or
Warriors,
bad as that looks, folks, that's good for that young man. It's a lesson. He's learning how to play the game. His coaches are teaching him how to do it the right way and be a sport along with it, not trying to injure somebody. 1st and 10 after the penalty at the Anderson 41. Brown maybe checking out on an audible here for the first time. Norman in motion. He'll give it to Goins. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Lackner and the linebacker Bigelow once again in on the stop.
Well, whatever adjustments the Anderson defense made at halftime, they figured out a way to put the stuff to Jeremiah Goins. Partially why I guess Dominic Brown wanted to make that pitch to Marco Norman a while back.
If Brown were somehow to get hurt, Chris White is the backup quarterback and fully capable of handling this offense. Brown on the right side, using that tall frame. It got him a couple extra yards. He pushes it down to the 35. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Dominic Brown.
Stopped on the play by
nice block by Jeremiah Goins.
And Schlosser right there wrapping up Dominic Brown.
Gain of 5. Now 3rd down and 4.
3rd and 4 from the 35. And the Redskins calling for their crowd support. A sold-out Mancuso Field here tonight.
Well, this looks like, Andy, one of those fork in the road or stick a fork moments in the game here.
Dominic Brown is going to be close, but he's short.
So Dominic like Brown down about the 33-yard line.
It's going to be 4th and 2. He got halfway there.
No, I'd say this is 4 down here.
Yeah, it's a little far out with the wind behind, even though it's behind Spencer. I mean, you're still looking at a 50-yard field goal. So that's asking a lot out of him. His long in the playoffs is a 23-yarder. Or, excuse me, yes, it is a 23-yarder.
So here they are to break the huddle.
So big 4th down right here. 4th and 2 from the Anderson 33-yard line.
Norman in motion.
Brown over the middle, picks up the first down as he just went right over the top of Brandon Smith. Nicely done by Dominic Brown, and a big first down for the Warrior offense.
The Redskins didn't do their scouting report because that's Dominic Brown's favorite play in that situation.
So the chains will move, and so will the clock. Already 6 minutes remaining only here in the third quarter.
Well, they got this clock moving, keeping possession of the ball, moving it down the field methodical. Either way, this is a winner for the Warriors. Of course, you don't want to say.
Now you're a little bit maybe closer to trying a field goal for Luke Spencer.
Like
Whistle.
We got a timeout here.
And Winton Woods will use their first of the half. They'll have 2 remaining. Anderson with all 3 remaining. Don't forget, folks, you can be part of our crew here at Waycross, either on any future playoff games or for the upcoming basketball, hockey, and whatever else we've got for you here on Waycross. Just call 825-2429 or check us out on the web at waycross.tv. We're so focused on football, we can't remember what else we're covering.
You miss any of the action,
there's the rebroadcast schedule of tonight's broadcast on Channel 24, Monday the 17th at 9 o'clock p.m. on Local 4 on Sunday at 12:30, Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then at Wednesday on Local 15 at 5 o'clock p.m. on the 19th. Again, you can double check all of those times or just watch the game online if you can't wait that long at waycross.tv tomorrow or Sunday.
Okay, so it's like we got the Anderson defense back out here on the field. It's like Andy's getting an update from his friend up there on the game.
Nothing yet, still 14-14 in the third quarter between Southview and Highland. 1st and 10 from the Anderson 30. Brown started, stopped, and then got a little bit, maybe 2 on the play. He's brought down by Tyler Knabb, the nose tackle.
49, Tyler
okay,
Knabb.
Andy, now, in talking to Coach E a couple weeks ago, he mentioned to me how number 24, Damon Hill, is starting to come around and feel good about his playing lately. And I see he was in the game on that play. And let me tell you, this young number 24, Damon Hill, he can sidestep his way up the field, and Anderson better be careful if he gets the ball.
Goings forward over the center and moves it down to about the 25. Another Goings. 3 brings up another 3rd down and about 4, maybe 5. 3rd and 5.
4:57 left to go in the third quarter.
Well, for Anderson to have any kind of chance, Jacob, they're going to have to get a stop here. I don't think you can let the Warriors go up by 2 touchdowns again going into the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, they have to either get a stop or hold us to a field goal attempt.
Split out to the near side. It's the tight end, Talbert. Brown, 3-step drop, keeps it himself, and he's sacked in the backfield. Schlosser in on the play. They read that one beautifully, and now you have an interesting decision if you're Coach Everhart on 4th down. Watch the defense converge. Look at the blitz by Schlosser.
Yeah, well, it's somewhat of a horse collar there.
Loss of a yard. Now 3rd down and 6.
So they're going to try this field goal. This will be a 43-yard attempt from the right hash for Luke Spencer.
But this is what your choice is, though. At this point, you might as well try to get what you can if you can.
Well, because if you do make it, you're up by 2 scores, and that's the all-important factor right now. You could see Spencer potentially pooch punt it too and try to pin him real deep. Watch for that possibly, but I think he's going to try to kick the heck out of this football. It's down. The kick is on its way, and it is short. So a monstrous stop for the Anderson Redskins, and now they've got the momentum once again and the football. I don't blame Coach Everhart one bit. That's the right call. Your kicker was hitting those field goals in pregame, but Jacob, as we talked about, with the wind and the weather at this stadium, it's shifting all night long, and it looked like it might have knocked that one down.
Yeah, well, that was the right call, and you know, either way, Luke Spencer is going to need some work in these playoffs. If they end up playing next week, at some point, semifinals, finals, he's going to probably call upon to kick a big kick for him here.
3:36 remaining in the third quarter, and the Redskins are on the field again with the football. Rod fakes to the left, comes back near side. Bruner breaks a tackle. He's got blockers upfield. Down the middle of the football field, tackled by Chris Williams, but not before he gets it to the Winton Woods 49-yard line, 29 on the wide receiver screen.
Luckily for the Warriors, Malik Bomar was able to slow him down enough where the Chris Williams could finish him off. Otherwise, the guy would be hyper-spaced in the end zone right now.
And the offensive coordinators are up here next to us. Jacob, they want to go no huddle and try to catch this defense off guard. Twins near side in the pistol. Rod again. Play action. Draw to Slater. He'll get 3, maybe 4 as he gets tackled on the play by Malik Bomar.
Kyle Slater tripped up by 46.
Looks like Chris Williams is asking the official here, back judge, why no call on John Runk for that hit that he put on him there away from the ball. So looks like we got a little drama going, cat and mouse game between Chris Williams and John Runk to keep our eye on.
Give Slater 2 on the carry. 2nd and 8 from the Winton Woods 47. He'll try up the middle, and boy, that has been there all night. He'll drop a shoulder and knock Chris Williams down, but he'll get it all the way out to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 17 on the run.
And this is where the Anderson Redskins are not about to throw in the towel. They're going to fight this thing like Winston Churchill during the Blitz.
Anderson first down.
The backup quarterback in now. It's Brownhauser, and he's got blockers down the right wing, and
it looks like they're creating up confusion on the Warriors defense here.
They're going to give him a first down. He's down to the 23-yard line. That's a pickup of 11.
Carried by Brandon Bornhauser.
Okay, so officials indicate first down for the Redskins. This is where the Warrior defense has to step it up. Somebody has to stand up and fill this void right now.
1st and 10 from the 23. Perez in motion. They'll give it to Slater, and he is met. Nice play by the defensive end, Anthony Brown. Boy, did the Warriors need that one.
There you go, and here we go. Going to be 2nd and 10. At some point, it looks like Anderson is going to have to put the ball up in the air. I know I've been saying this all night. You're probably tired of hearing it, Andy, but I'm looking for number 11 at some point in this game for Anderson if they want to win.
Well, they've only gone to him twice, and he's got 1 pass, but it was a 5-yard out route at the end of the first half. Direct snap. Slater cuts back through the middle and then bounces it outside. He gets a few, but now it'll bring up 3rd and long.
Well, this is where if you're the Warrior defense, you want to try to hold the Skins to a field goal attempt of their own.
Now Howard has hit a 23-yarder. Not to say he can't hit a longer one, but that's his long in the playoffs. He did hit a 40-yarder in the regular season.
Clock moving down. 1:20 left to go in the third quarter.
They got 4 on the run, 3rd and 6. Runk is not on the field right now. It's Bruner out wide. Slater again, spinning off the tackle. And he fumbled the football.
The Warriors have it.
And it's recovered by David Hampton. The 3rd turnover of the ball game might cost the Redskins their season. What a tremendous play on defense by David Hampton.
Wow, what a hit.
Yeah, oh, that's clearly a fumble. And look at the strength of that young man. One hand on the football to take it away. And that just silenced the orange and white.
Okay, so the Warriors offense, it looks like they'll be taking over, setting up on the 20-yard line, just across the 20.
Jacob, the Anderson Redskins are playing with fire here. You cannot turn the ball over 3 times against our Warriors and expect to win this football game.
Well, the Warriors are gonna have to march out of this hole.
Goings
is doing.
Almost the first down. He gets it out to the 30, a pickup of 9 as we move under a minute in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, and this Jeremiah Goings, I've been watching him play, and he can fake you out, outrun you, or run you over, whatever he feels like doing at the time. The only other guy I could see could do that was a guy by the name of Jim Brown.
2nd and 1. Dominique Brown,
blue suede shoes.
And he'll bring it out to the 37. He'll get 7 and another first down for the Warrior offense. Brought down on the play by Jake Lackner.
Okay, so Warriors got this down. Looks like 23 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Don't think we'll get another playoff.
Well, I think they might sneak one more in there. Play clock under 8 seconds. Game clock at 10 seconds.
It's nothing cute.
They'll try the inside handoff, and they might have lost one there. And nice play by number 88, Michael James, in on the stop. And that brings us to the end of quarter number 3. Well, somebody's going home for the year. Somebody's going to the state semifinal. Right now, that looks to be the Winton Woods Warriors. They have the lead, 21-14, and a very interesting quarter number 3 here tonight. Looked like the Warriors were going to have a chance to come out and extend their 21-7 halftime lead up to 28-7, but they fumbled. Anderson turns that into a touchdown. Anderson then marches down the field late in the third quarter. Looks like they're going to tie the game. They fumble. Winton Woods trying to answer back with a score of their own here as we start the fourth quarter.
And credit to Winton Woods' defense to stem the tide on that momentum shift. And a lot of teams could have very easily folded up to 10, and this would be a tie game right now.
Well, this has everything and more, I think, that we expected, except I really thought Anderson might take some more shots downfield tonight with those big receivers. But Jacob, the way that they've been able to run the football, I don't think you can blame them for sticking to the ground game.
Exactly. I mean, I thought that last game when they played the Warriors, they did a lot more passing. I think in doing that passing, they discovered some people that could help them. But today they went back to their identity, and which serves them well to this point. But I still say at some point they may have to put it up in the air.
2nd and 10 from the 37, and a whistle and a flag on the play. Somebody moved, I believe.
That's going against the Warriors probably.
Yep, false start on the offense. Back them up 5 more, 2nd and 15. And Jacob, again, it hasn't been the number of penalties, but when the penalties have occurred that have hurt both teams tonight.
Exactly. But if you've got a good team at this point in the playoffs, and here comes number 24 checking back into the Winton Woods Warrior huddle, Damon Hill. I'm telling you, when the coach tells you about a guy, you listen. And not only have I listened, but I've seen this young man play. He's got his blue suede shoes on there too. Because whenever this guy's on the field, you got to be careful.
Norman in motion, rolling out to his right. Dominique Brown in trouble on the run. That ball is intercepted.
Ill-advised.
Michael Tincher to the near sideline. Down at the Winton Woods 45, and the turnovers continue for both of these clubs in this playoff game tonight.
Well, this game is turning kind of sloppy with the turnovers. Certainly whoever survives this game is going to have to tighten this up for next week's action.
Again, Jacob, he's got to learn to take what the defense gives him. He's got to be able to accept that the defense reads the play, and he cannot make that throw at this stage in the ball game.
Yeah, he's trying to hook up with Anthony Talbert. A couple games ago, Anthony Talbert had a nice catch for a touchdown. He dropped the ball last week, and they know that they're just inches away from a big play if they can get it in Talbert's hands with field in front of them.
Slater jumps over the defense, and that'll allow him to get 3 yards on the first down run inside the 45 to the 43. Down
Slater,
by Anthony Brown on the stop. Chris Stallworth in there as well. Second and 8. They give him 2, not 3. Runk again not in there. The counter, Slater has blocks, but he is hammered on that interior front. Who knocked him off the ball that time? I think that was Hampton again.
Whoever it was really drilled him down there.
Kyle Slater, tackled by 32, David Hampton.
Yep, there it is. That's how you make a tackle in the open field. 3rd and 5 now for the Redskins.
3rd and 5, so you see they got Mr. Runk in the game for this 3rd and 5 here.
You would have to think at some point they're going to take a shot, wouldn't you?
I would think. I would think they would recall they had success with him last time against the Warriors.
Play action rolling out to his right on the run, complete to Bruner, 1st down and more. He's knocked down at the 30-yard line, tackled on the play by Corey Weber.
Okay.
Rod's pass is complete to 12, Jason Bruner.
Well, again, using Runk as the decoy on the fly pattern and a perfect play call as that little out route to the slot receiver Bruner. 1st and 10, a key 3rd down conversion. Boy, look at the stats tonight. You got to give the Redskins credit, Jacob. They've been able to convert on 3rd down.
Oh, yeah.
Of 9, Anderson.
They probably have a better 3rd down conversion rate than the Warriors do.
They pitch it to Nakakura in the backfield, and he doesn't have enough speed to get to the line of scrimmage. Take your pick on that one. Brown, Stallworth, Marvin, all in there to make the stop.
Looks like Daniel Rod is playing a really workmanlike game. He's managing this Redskin offense. He's got his heart and soul into this team. Whoever wins this game, you just have to give them hats off and their props.
2nd and 10 from the 31. Play action pass. He's got plenty of time. He's in trouble. Rolling out to his right, looking for help. Doesn't get it. Cuts it back upfield. Look at the run by Daniel Rod. Nice individual effort. He's able to gain 5 yards on that play. What coverage by the Warriors secondary to not allow him to have a chance to make the throw. But that just shows you the athleticism of that young man right there.
There you go.
Looked like Dominique Brown on that scramble.
Chris Stallworth.
Kalen Silver, nice job to leap over his own man.
So 3rd and 5, very manageable situation here. Do they take a timeout? Let's see. And an official timeout for a substitution. Now we're ready to go.
Okay, so 3rd and 5, ball on the 26-yard line.
Looks like they're calling an audible from the sideline. They're going to go deep on the out route. A bullet and a 1st down. Wow, what a throw by Daniel Rod. And Runk makes his 2nd key catch on 3rd down in this football game.
Yeah, he drilled it right in there. That was almost one of those Brett Favre numbers where he stuck it right in on him.
Nice little out route by John Runk. And another key 1st down and another key 3rd down conversion. That's been the story for this offense tonight.
You see, this is where Runk could be that much more dangerous with this short field because he can play the jump ball.
He'll set up the wide receiver screen. Bruner in trouble, and he is ripped down, but a face masking penalty, and Anthony Brown knew it. Jacob, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and put Anderson in prime scoring position to try to tie up this football game. You love the heart. You love the passion. But he just got a little too aggressive that time.
That's just what happened to be there when he reached out. That wasn't his intent at all.
And that's definitely a 15-yarder.
Oh, yeah.
Personal foul, face mask will move the ball down to, what, the 5-yard line?
If they're going to say it's a 15-yarder.
Penalty against
So it'll be 1st and goal, I think. Let's see where they mark this ball.
Looks like the Warrior defense is standing at about the 10, 11-yard line.
No, they're going to mark it at the 13. So 1st and 10 from the 13. They give us to Slater. He's got blockers in front. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Tackled on the play by Anthony Brown, this time without his helmet.
Tackled by 6, Anthony Brown.
This is where the Warriors, you know, these guys are well-trained, well-oiled machine, and so no one is out of gas. Although we do have a Warrior defender down on knees.
That's Anthony Brown, slow to get up.
Yeah, he's been kind of sagging the past 3 or 4 plays out there.
I don't think he's hurt. I think he's just adjusting his helmet because they're looking down at the ground. And if guys, we can get us, there you go, perfect. Way to go, crew. Yep, he's just making a little adjustment there on the chin strap. So the clock will move on the whistle. It'll bring us under 8 minutes to go. And don't go anywhere, folks. This one could be long from over the way these two are fighting it out here with their season on the line tonight.
Well, our crew in the truck indicated that rain might be visiting before this one is all finished.
Roll out. Rod in trouble. He's sacked. Perfectly read by Tristan Marvin. And a big loss back to the 25-yard line. They lose 17 on the sack.
There you go. That's who you got to have on defense. Tristan Marvin is the guy that's going to be doing this for UC next year.
I'm sorry, Jacob, but I don't know why he didn't throw that ball to Luis Perez, who was wide open in the flat.
Well, I think he did wise to do what he did because he could have had an interception there.
Into the corner, and that ball is almost intercepted. Boy, I got to give my partner credit here, folks. He said at the beginning that Corey Weber would be the guy to stop John Runk, and he almost took it away from him right there.
Yeah, Corey Weber stands tall in the saddle on that play, and it's a good thing he did. If he could have held on to the ball, the Warriors would be in business.
3rd and 23 from the 23. They cannot get a first down. It's end zone or 4th down.
This is where somebody's got to stay home. Everybody's got to watch your gaps.
Trips on the near side, and Bruner split out wide. It's Perez in motion. They'll fake the screen. Rod.
He's going to have to tuck it in and run.
On the run, no one home, and he almost had that one picked off.
No penalties, incomplete, 4th down.
I think you have to kick it here, don't you?
I would say you would have to kick it. You want to come away with something here.
Well, because a field goal, if you get it and get the ball back, you can win this game 24-21. It's going to be a 40-yard attempt here for John Howard. And his long in the playoffs is 23 yards. He's going to have to kick everything into this. We've seen him kick it out of the end zone on the kickoffs, but the wind is going to definitely be a factor. Rod the holder. Howard's kick is on its way. It's got plenty of leg, and that would have been good from 50, ladies and gentlemen. No question that was the right call, and John Howard makes it 21-17. Winton Woods staying on top barely.
Well, you know, if you're Winton Woods, Andy, your defense still picked you up, made these guys do a field goal.
Wow.
This way you have a chance on offense to come back and kind of just drive this ball, run clock.
Yeah, 50 or 53 yards. That thing cleared it by an easy 13 yards.
I don't think you want to pass the ball anymore if you're Winton Woods. From here on, just keep handing the ball to number 22 or whoever.
You realize the only reason that Anderson has 10 points in the second half is because of a fumble and an interception by the Warriors.
Exactly. This is where, you know, they're beating themselves. They're not losing, but they haven't lost, but they're the ones given the opportunities.
Well, I'm just glad this is everything we thought it was going to be, and I think even more. I don't know if we expected this kind of back and forth with the turnovers thrown into it and everything.
Yeah, I didn't expect all these many turnovers.
When you get this far into the playoffs, Jacob, I don't think as a football fan you want to see a blowout.
Oh, no. But even talking to Coach E, he says what his team does when they're blowing someone out, they use that to evaluate their personnel.
Howard will send this one into the end zone again. I think every kickoff tonight has been a touchback by John Howard.
Carries through the end zone,
and he is known as one of the best kickers in the state. We saw the best kicker in the state last week. Zach Murphy for Kings set a state record by making those 3 field goals. Including that 41-yarder dead into the wind. But this kid may be able to hit that and then some. Well, now, this is a big series for the Warriors. They need to get it going once again, folks. 1st and 10 from their own 20.
This is where the Warriors want to put 2 and 2 together with the ball.
Brown breaks the tackle and moves it forward. He might have gotten out. Yeah, he did, to the 25, so they're halfway there for the first down. 2nd and 5. spun out and brought down by 88. Michael James has gotten a lot of playing time here in the second half.
Clock under 7 minutes to go now in the contest. Warriors kind of methodical, taking their time.
Well, we know one thing. We're not going to have overtime at this point unless Winton Woods goes down and kick a field goal. But they want to use as much of this as they can and run this out. But that's not going to help as Brown is taken down in the backfield. Joe Walla blew up the offensive line to get in there and make the stop. Watch that. Look at that. Right through with the swim move. And he allows his other teammates to get in there first as well.
Well, that's because he knows that it's better to attack this offense, and you try to sit back and read and react, and they're just going to come out and pick you.
3rd and 5. They're talking next to us about downhill, folks. What they're saying is pursue Brown and Goins and don't let him get to the outside.
Well, at some point, I'm thinking the Warriors got to use number 24, DeMond Hill.
They show rollout. Brown back up the middle. I don't think he got it.
No.
I think he's going to be short.
It's like we got Anderson player getting up slow.
It's taking another leg. It was a good play call, and he almost caught him off guard, but they held their ground, and they will have to punt. So a monstrous stop for the Redskins. Jacob, what has happened to the Warrior offense here in the second half?
Well, I think they just got out of sync with these turnovers.
4th down and 2.
You know, they're used to just running this clock methodical, and they haven't had time to just drive the ball and eat the clock.
So 4th and 2. What a stop. 3 and out by the Redskin defense. You're seeing why these are the defending State 2 champions right now. It's times like this where you're either going to lose it or win it. And Spencer gets away a good kick. Perez fields it and then slips down. Nice tackle on special teams by number 30.
Luis Perez.
First time we've called him tonight. That's Dan Goins, Jeremiah's brother.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at the Warrior roster, they have quite a few, looks like brother combinations.
Punt,
possibly. I mean, they may not be related, but
-1 yard.
you kind of feel that they may be. We got a Zach Bomar. There's 2 Marvins on the team. So, and like I say, Coach gets these guys in a lot of games, so they're deep.
There goes Perez, the fullback, on the inside handoff. He'll follow Big Norwell and the center Sherman out to the 45. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, now we're at the point in the game, Andy, where the way it's knotted up here. I don't want the officials call to rear its ugly head on an old Nully play that's questionable.
Perez in motion. They'll try Slater again. He is stuffed by Stallworth and Tristan Marvin and Byron McCorkle. Nice job on the defensive front for the Warriors.
Slater stopped by 58.
And this 3rd and 5. Some coarse language being used in frustration next to us. None that we can repeat over the air, folks.
3rd down and 5.
3rd and 5 from the 46. They've got 3 timeouts left, but I would think this is 4-down territory. They look right, throw backside, and that one a little too far for Runk. Nice coverage by the sophomore Chuck Wynn.
Pass intended for 11.
And
John
4th
Monk,
and 5 with
incomplete.
4 minutes to go. This could be the season for the Redskins.
Well, very well could be, and they have to. That was good that they tried to hit Runk there, and they just narrowly missed him. They tried him down here again in the last series of downs, and I think if they got a chance, it lies with getting this guy the ball because he's going to have some yak if he gets it.
Rolling out to his right, Rod on the run, has time, in trouble, runs
Malik
it back
Bomar
upfield.
right
Look
by
out, Daniel Rod able to get the first down, but he fumbled the football. Was he down first or did he fumble?
Daniel Rod, the carrier.
There you got to look at it.
If he's laying on top of the defender, that should be a fumble.
Let's see what our replay guy come up with on that, Andy.
Well, there's no replay used in high school, so it's up to the officials.
That, but I just want to see what it looks like with our replay.
Guys, there we go. Oh, that's a fumble.
Oh, yeah, that's out.
Oh, that's clearly a fumble.
Official timeout.
Wow, what a turning point in this football game. And if somehow Winton Woods does lose this ball game, you're going to see a letter to the OHSAA immediately following this game by Coach Everhart when he sees that replay. What a play by Chris Stallworth to strip that ball from Daniel Rott.
Well, have the officials ruled that as Anderson's keeper? Yeah, they have.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you this. Fortunately enough for the referees, that didn't happen in front of Coach Everhart.
Yeah,
because you would see his head pop off right now in anger, frustration.
Oh, yeah, you would see him go into Mike Singletary on these officials on that one.
Boy, it's plays like that that can make or break a team. We'll see what it does for the Warriors. But I would hate to see Anderson win this ball game because of that call.
Well, right now the clock is down to 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
1st and 10 from the 48. They'll stay in the air.
Runk, and he's wide open.
They'll go deep downfield, and Nakakura
incomplete, no flag.
Couldn't halt that one in. Again, Chuck Wynn able to get just enough in the coverage.
Incomplete pass intended.
Well, I mean, it's like I said a couple plays ago, the game is close. You don't want to get it decided on some official mistake, and unfortunately, that should have been the Warrior recovery, that fumble.
I think you're going to see him go back to the ground here on 2nd down.
We got some Anderson faithful cheering their team on. I guess they're trying to remind us that this game isn't over yet, even though their guys are down by 4. Hopefully they'll be happy when it's over.
Draw play. Slater stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, and he's up to the 40. He's going to be close to a 1st down. Again, we talked about it earlier in this ball game, Jacob. You have to make the first tackle in a playoff game. You cannot allow a running back to have a second chance.
Well, nice play by Byron McCorkle on that to stop him. Leaps over a guy and just looks almost like a LeVar Arrington tackle against the University of Illinois a few years ago.
Under 3 minutes to go. 3rd and 3. Slater on the right side. Boy, did he get a great block from his fullback, Luis Perez, and it sprung him for a 1st down.
Looks like the chains are going to move again. Clock stops at 2:46.
Brian McCorkle.
I don't know if we got another look at that, guys, but you can clearly see that block by the fullback if we do. There it is. Watch Perez right here on right side of your screen. That block right there gave Slater the 1st down.
Okay, so Anderson back on the attack.
Direct snap to Slater again through the right side, and again he'll get inside the 30 down to the 27. There's no field goals at this point in the ball game, partner. It's all or nothing with the season on the line.
Stopped by 6, Anthony Brown.
Well, here you go. Winton Woods Warrior defense hasn't been tested this severe in months, literally.
2nd and 4 from the 28. 2 minutes remaining in this ball game. Slater again to the left side. Cuts it back upfield, and he's going to be short of a 1st down. That'll bring up 3rd down, and Kyle Slater is very slow to get up.
Down to 1:58 left to go in the game.
And I think you're going to see a timeout. Yeah, timeout here by
Was this the
Anderson.
2-minute warning?
Nope, that's by the Redskins. So key 3rd down again coming up.
Well, if you're Winton Woods defensive coordinator, what do you dial up?
You know, as many times as they've been running that trap play out of the shotgun with Slater, or even rolling out Rod, where's the corner blitz? We haven't seen that once tonight. I think you got to bring somebody off the edge and really put pressure on this offense.
We'll see what they come up with. I would just make sure these guys maintain their gaps and cover and just keep everything in front of them. Can't have no yak.
Under 2 minutes to go. 2 timeouts left for both teams. And I know what Anderson's thinking right now, Jacob. Take as much time as we can before we score this touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know Dominique Brown has the ability, so does Goings, so does anybody on that sideline, to bust one 80 yards just like that and end this game.
Okay, so this is the play.
Hand off to Slater. He's going to get the 1st down inside the 25 to the 22. Hampton and Weber in on the stop for the Warriors. Another 1st down, another 3rd down conversion. Boy, I can't wait to see the final stats on that category tonight. That's the difference in this ball game right now, other than the turnovers.
Okay, looks like Redskins lining up here.
A minute.
Runk is a tight end on this.
40, they stay on the ground. Slater tripped over this right guard, Oliver Phillips, trying to cut back and set the block. And that cost them a few yards right there. He'll get to the 20, 2nd and 8, a minute and a half now on the clock.
Chris Stallworth.
Well, we thought this game might come down to this, didn't we, Jacob?
Oh, yeah. And at least we know there's no possibility of overtime in this game.
Perez in motion again. Slater again up the right side through the guard, and he'll get it inside the 20 to about the 16. Timeout Anderson. They have 1 remaining with a minute 10 remaining in the 4th quarter in this regional final in Division II high school playoffs.
Well, we got a situation here. The season is about to end for someone. If it doesn't work out any, it may end for us this week.
Yeah, unfortunately that could be the case, but hopefully the Warriors can dig in deep here, Jacob, and pull this game out.
Well, whatever this home cooking they've been really benefiting from the past couple months, these young guys, like I said, the coaches have a lot to do with their success, but you know they have loving family.
The good news for the Warriors is, Jacob, that about 80% of this team comes back next year. So look out if for some reason they can't hold on here.
Well, I'm sure they want to get her done this year, though.
3rd and 5 from the 17. Slater again got to the outside, cuts back upfield, and he's close to a first down. I don't know if he got it.
I don't think there's quite enough there.
I don't think he got it. I think this is going to be the play of the game
Slater
coming up on 4th down.
50 seconds left to go in the game.
4th down and inches. Here's the season and potentially the ball game. Slater again. Oh, he's got plenty of room. And he's inside the 5, down to the 4. Boy, did they catch Winton Woods off guard with that quick snap. They want to run the same play. Let's see if they do. That's what the call is up here in the booth. Let's see if they run the same exact play to the far side of the field. They've got plenty of blocking out there, and they do. Slater back to the middle.
He's stuffed.
He's down at the 2. They've got 1 timeout left. I think they're going to have to use it here.
Kyle Slater, the ball.
And they do. They're on the 2 or the 3, Jacob. I don't know if you have time to run the ball and risk not getting in. I think you've got
to run.
I think you've got to do the rollout. I think you've got to have Rod throw this to Runk or the tight end Becker just like they did on their 2nd score.
Yeah, of course, that could be the case too, but I'd rather take my chances running than with an incomplete or an interception.
Guys, I don't know. Can you get a shot of the Anderson sideline from down there? I don't know if we can, but every single player in a white jersey that's not on the field on one knee right now, it does not get any more intense and nerve-wracking than this if you are in a white jersey or a blue jersey for that matter. The only difference is Winton Woods, I think, a little bit more confident that they can make this stop.
Well, they've been making stops all year, and there's no need to look back on anything that's happened in this season or this game.
And you know what? Coach Giesting just looked back at his home crowd and smiled. You can't help but smile, even if you lose this ball game. This is how you want to finish your season, no matter what the outcome is for both of these clubs.
Oh, yeah, and for defending state champions, they know that they gave it the nth degree of effort to
this
retain.
Could be it. 2nd and 3. They're going to run it. Slater finds a hole, and he's into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Redskins. Oh, my goodness. The Warriors are maybe not going to have enough time. What a ball game. 23-21.
The Anderson coaches are about to break out the window.
Yeah, they are, actually.
If one of them falls through there.
What a gutsy call. Well, you either sink or swim with your best player, and they did that tonight with Kyle Slater.
Okay, so we got a 23-21 score with 23 and a half seconds left to go.
Oliver Phillips needs help getting off the field here. Looks like he might have tweaked an ankle in the midst of that pileup. But they do have 2 timeouts to the Warriors, and they have a heck of a kicker in Spencer. If they can bust a big play, they have a chance to tie it, assuming Howard makes this extra point.
So they're all lined up for this extra point.
And a penalty flag on the play. I think Winton Woods.
Going to be Winton Woods offside.
No, this is on Anderson. It's going to back him up 5 yards and make it a little bit more nerve-wracking for John Howard.
False start.
Jacob, I don't know if you can look at one play or one series of plays that was a turning point for either side tonight. Maybe the fumble at the beginning of the third quarter, just because it seemed to turn the tide here in the second half. But both of these teams left it all out on the field.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, if you're Winton Woods, you got to say, you know, these guys didn't play good enough to win with this many fumbles.
Boy, he made sure that one was going through. He kicked it over the buses behind the stands. And the Anderson Redskins, the defending Division II state champions, are 24 seconds away from pulling an upset.
Yeah, Andy, Winton Woods, they had their chances. They left the ball out on the field with too many fumbles. And you give a team like the defending state champ that many extra chances with a short field. Again, as I said, you have to make these guys go to long field, and they didn't do that.
Jacob, and you know, I know some of the Winton Woods fans might think we're being negative, but we're not. You really do have to credit what the Anderson Redskins were able to do here in the second half. And you also have to give a lot of credit to the quarterback, Daniel Rod, because he cost his team 14 points in the first half. And for him to be able to put that behind him and lead his team down the field to have a chance to do what they've been able to do, you have to give him a lot of credit for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm giving the Anderson team the credit for what they did tonight and what they're still doing. Like I said earlier, though, I didn't want to see this game ride and fall on some referee's mistake. If you're from Winton Woods, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, that fumble, they're going to really be upset about that when they see this videotape.
You got to come home, Mitch. Yeah, you don't.
Nope. He wanted to. He wanted to. The only good news is the clock doesn't move, so 24 seconds. And now a team that doesn't throw the ball that well has to go 80 yards to win. And I'd say about maybe 50 or 60 to have a chance to tie this game in 24 seconds.
Well, this is probably where the Warriors going to have to use that pass. The biggest pass they use is to Marco Norman. And that's probably what they're going to try to run here. Is Marco in there? Yeah, he's in there. Probably some kind of fly pattern. And if Brown sees a chance to run out of bounds, he will.
Well, he's going to have to air it out, and he's got a cannon down the sideline. That ball is caught, but it's out of bounds. Well, you saw the strength of Dominique Brown's arm. Unfortunately, threw it just a little too far towards the sideline. And now 15.7 seconds left. Down by 3.
Well, we've been in this booth all season, partner. Mostly through good times. Every game we've covered, they've won. Unfortunately, that's what sports is, and it's not unfortunately. Your team has to play good enough to win.
Yep.
When they fumble the ball around like that.
Oh, wow. What a blitz, and a perfect time to call it. And I think that's going to put a cap on this ball game. Yep, Anderson recovers the fumble, the third turnover of the second half for the Warriors. And now, Jacob, you really do unfortunately have to look at that stat as possibly costing them their season.
That's what it was. All those fumbles.
You got to give the defensive coordinator credit. I mean, to be able to call a blitz like that when everybody's looking for a pass, just, you know, maybe coaching won this ball game too tonight for the Redskins.
Oh, yeah, definitely coaches on the Anderson staff definitely proved their X's and O's caliber,
ladies and gentlemen,
pedigree, if you will.
Invited to remain in the stands.
So the Warriors will suffer only their second loss all season. Jacob, there are not many teams in the state of Ohio right now that can say that they've had the season that the Winton Woods Warriors have. And I know that they're extremely disappointed that that doesn't get to continue, but you really have to be happy for what they've been able to do up to this point and give them a lot of credit for the season that they had. Remember, they won the league. Hey, league championship. They win their first ever playoff game in school history. Then they win another playoff game, which was also obviously the first time ever for that as well. But just could not find a way to hold on here in the second half tonight.
Exactly, and so since the Anderson Redskins are going to come out with the victory, I think I'll give Daniel Rod a game ball, well-deserving. I can't think of anybody. Who would you want to give another game ball to?
Well, that's going to do it. The clock runs out, and the defending state champions have a chance one more week. to remain the state champions this year, and a heartbreaking, just a gut-wrenching loss for our Winton Woods Warriors. But it's been fun watching them get this far and going along for the ride, Jacob.
Oh, absolutely, Andy, and it's been fun working with you as my partner in the booth for these Winton Woods Warriors telecast. Chief Winton and his mighty crew of spiritual guides over there give the Warriors good support all year. But unfortunately, you have to play good enough to deserve to win. And when you fumble the first series of the third quarter and fumble various other times, it just doesn't work out that way.
I think you really feel like that was the turning point. I mean, that seemed to really allow Anderson to feel good about themselves, get back into this ball game, and feel like they could make plays.
Well, certainly no one can get fined $20,000 for their talking about the official call. They did a good game overall. They did miss some blocks in the back on Anderson, but what they missed the most was that fumble. But you know, wait until next year, I guess, is all the Warriors are left with at this point.
Great sportsmanship here being shown by both teams. No pushing, no punching, no shoving, just great respect for each other. Jacob, you know how hard it is to beat a team in your own conference, in your own division, twice in one season, including once in the playoffs, and that proved to be the case once again here tonight.
By all means.
Well, it's been a great season, everybody. Don't forget, we've got basketball and hockey coming up for you here in the fall and the winter. If you want to be a part of that, call us at 825-2429 or check us out on the web at waycross.tv. It's been a fun season following the Warriors and all our other teams around during this 2008 high school football year, but unfortunately, it has come to a dramatic ending here tonight at Mancuso Field at Viking Stadium. For my partner, Jacob Williams, and our entire hardworking crew, especially the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Suarez, I'm Andy Sanzada. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching. Reminding you once again, your final in the Division II Regional Final, the Anderson Redskins 24, the Winton Woods Warriors 21. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Good night.